Why I may abandon my current game project. The main reason is that I discovered a game recently on Steam that that might be very close to, or I'm perfectly delivers the game experience I was trying to create. Um, and I talked much about my game experience preferences in a recent and previous YouTube video on this channel. So I won't talk about that again. But the short version was that I also recently made or wrote a list of game experience or game design that I value, and this was based on um, like years of experience playing like a very diverse playing a very diverse game types. Um, and I often could sense that many of the games I played, I would stop playing them because something about them just would not they would not be compatible with the experience that I prefer, or they provided some entertainment or interactive engagement value, but something else about that game's experience took away from my enjoyment. So before letting my current game project go completely to waste, I might just show a little bit of what I have done. But also that there were some other small reasons why I may abandon this game project, and this is kind of a consistent pattern with how I or what happens when I work on my own hobby game projects like this. For example, I get easily distracted by playing new games as a research to see or to explore, would they offer me a better and more ideal gaming experience. And there are often times where if I leave my hobby project I'm alone for a long enough time, then um, I might suddenly realize that there was a big flaw in the game's design that would make it much less entertaining to play, or I discover a new game design idea that I feel much more excited about building and exploring, and making me want to start a new project. Or the way I built that game project was so horrifyingly unmaintainable that adding new features and tweaking things has become too challenging. Um, so that those are roughly the reasons why I've chosen to abandon this specific hobby project. But this is also kind of true for most or all of the hobby projects I have worked on before. And in this specific case, I was trying to capture one thing I had liked and experienced recently, which was like a survival sort of problem solving experience. But I also only just recently broke that down into why I really enjoyed that kind of theme for a game. And this game was also very inspired by another computer game called Void Tyrant, and that was my first time seeing a very interesting but also streamlined gameplay where it functions exactly like this. So the game is driven largely by like dice rolls, and unlike a board game where you roll that dice to just move spaces and choose where you want to branch off your path. This game that I found recently, and I was trying to explore that game mechanic. This this was more about like building up as much of a high number as you can from your dice rolls, and then making these risk versus reward decisions, or like or I mean like the goal was to get the highest number possible without going over the limits of 12, because when you do that, the game does put some kind of small penalty on you. So that decision, I thought was quite an interesting game experience, because there was this idea of how much do I risk going over that limit, and how much, or how much do I want to safely stick with a lower number, and not get a larger reward from that specific like event or outcome. So I was trying to explore that, but I also wanted to make a game that was not themes around violence or conflict. So so I tried making my game about this like survival, this like kind of like a small city builder or town building kind of game. Um, and what's happening on the screen now? So I think this is where I got up to with my game development kind of. So I was trying to have a simple design where we had these two numbers that we were trying to track and build up. So this game in my mind was like trying to be a leader, or like a caretaker of a small, what's the word, like a colony or a small village or small group, and the way we would measure their content would be like the health and joy. And I was also trying to design this game in a way that was very easy to understand the information, and tries to give like really clear feedback on the players decisions. um I was kind of hoping to show more, but I think um I think I kind of locked out some of the content in my game, because I was in the middle of building something. um let me quickly see if I can enable the thing I was thinking of. One sec. And the reason why is because I just want to quickly show what the game's flow might look like. Um, Although this has been a very long time since I have worked on this project, so if I can't find what I'm looking for too soon, then I might just drop this. Oops. Um, okay, I need to remind myself. All right, so what we saw was like the end turn screen. This is slowly coming back to me. Where do I handle like the game turns? Player and high level data. This seems vaguely familiar to me. Let's see. New turn. Okay, so I found the class or the scripts that handles like triggering that next turn. Um, okay, I I think I might have found what I was looking for. So let me just disable this part of my game because I was in the middle of building that screen that shows you those that feedback like the estate of your people. And if I re-enable this part, this part was meant to be what happens after you would be shown the health and the joy of your people. So if I go back in, after the game engine has taken my new code in and processed. Um, so um, this was kind of starting to explain like the core like mechanic or like interaction with this game. So I would just roll a whole bunch of dice, and this represents how much effort I would put into this specific task, and the higher the number that you get, the more like the better, because um, that means that whatever you build or whatever this was working on would be a more ahead in their like progress. Um, so in that case, I was building a water producer facility, and that gave me like not 90% efficiency, which is pretty high because the number I rolled from the two dice was 10, and I stopped rolling dice at 10. I didn't try to go over, and this is what I was going to show the person playing this game, like what would happen after you see your colony's status after each turn is that do you want to upgrade the water producer, for example? So I could say no. Then it asks you, do you want to build the food farm? I try to briefly explain why this would be a value to the player, because many games I've noticed do not communicate the value behind all of the decisions that we could make, and too many games fall into the trap of explaining what something does, but not why somebody might choose to go with that choice. So I like transparency. I like having the ability to more easily plan and plan strategies in my game. I don't like flying in blind and just picking things with such a low understanding that I might as well just be choosing things randomly, and it's like much more difficult for me to engage with a game without a clear understanding of outcomes, including outcomes of my own decisions. Um, so in this case, yeah, this is like a colony builder, and I hadn't quite figured out what was the end goal, or like what we would be doing between like what would we be doing over multiple turns. So in this case, I will click yes, and the game takes me back to this like the dice rolling part of the game, and this is kind of how the flow goes. It would just repeat on and off. But to help show you the other mechanic, let me just go over on purpose. So I will try to get over 12, and the intent of this game design was to discourage the player from like going too wild with their dice rolls. So now I have a food farm built, and that consumes the entire turn. So now this is running at 54 percent efficiency, and I think one reason why I also wanted to abandon this project was I was struggling to find out how to make this fun. Like I don't think I don't think building things that have big efficiency numbers is that is not really inherently fun. I kind of came into this project biased because I played other games that reward player efficiency, and that they have a more cohesive game design. But I've kind of I've kind of just like try to copy another game experience I like, but not also bring with it all of the design that made those other games work in their context. But this was also kind of intentional as well, because I was trying to build my own game from the ground up, so I could have a very highly customized game experience, like how I choose to present information, and how easy this game might be to learn and play. And one of my game design challenges was I couldn't find a way to make this more fun. Like anybody coming along playing this game would probably be thinking, why would I want to have a high efficiency? Although in this case, I was going to tie this to a higher level thing. So let me just quickly show that again by restoring the other code that I had. So this was also in incomplete stuff, and I'm just realizing maybe what I'm saying so far in this video might not make much sense, because I did not have a script for this video, and I didn't have a clear plan of what I wanted to talk about. I'm just kind of like stepping through my thought process and just game design. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah. I was in the middle of exploring a game design where the reason why this efficiency matters is that this would directly impact the joy and the health of the colony. I was kind of going to put a time or a turn restriction on the game as well, to add some urgency. But then that there were just ideas in my head, and I probably need to like play test this more, and give this game to people to give me feedback on what might be fun or what might not be fun about this game. But then at some point I kind of thought to myself, hang on, this game I'm trying to design, that's like, you know, super accessible, super streamlined. This is there is a very similar type of game that achieves the same or better experience, and that is card games. So in my case, I try to have these dice rolls drive a big part of this game. And as you saw what I had before, when it was asking me, do I want to upgrade this or do I want to build that? That was designed to be like my way of solving this problem I see in many other games where their user interface is just very complicated, and there's like menus within menus, and I'm just reading so many things all over the screen. So I try to streamline the user interface interaction, But then I might have I think I realized at some point, hang on, the one of the best ways to present options to the player in a way that is not very overwhelming is card games. So and even I like how in card games where they like presents you a hand of cards, and they visually and literally represent what are all of your options at that moment, and the your entire hand is like your maximum number of options you can work with, and each card is very clear about what you can do in that moment if you consume or use that card. And so I realized that my game design was kind of trying to solve a problem that may have been already solved. So instead of asking the player what one question at a time, do they want to use this option or use that option? Why not just have a card game to present all of their options, and the card game doesn't require like menus, like we aren't clicking on cards so that we can see like 20 hidden cards that we can also use. Like I haven't seen that kind of card game yet, but yeah. So long story short, game design is a complex and challenging process where many parts of it can go wrong very easily, because things like how easily the player can understand and navigate your game, or that does it have a strong enough core experience to keep people engaged. And sometimes I get too distracted, like trying to optimize my own code and like maintainability. But in this case, this was not a really big problem, because I was trying to develop this game with a very minimum viable product mindset, which was like. Which means spend the minimum amount of effort to produce something that can be played and seen, so that we can test and update the game's design as we go in the quickest way possible. But yeah, I'm very much thinking at the moment I want to abandon this project. Although some part of me does want to try and explore this theme further, this idea of trying to build build an environment that supports a specific kind of life, which could be colony, people, animals, or even virus, and to try and support them by building what they need to survive. So water producers, food producers, maybe resource storage, and maybe logistics to more efficiently support this life with what they need, and having this like gameplay loop of like always working towards a better joy of this life, and making sure that their health does not drop too low. These ideas were like swirling in my head, and one part of me is keen to explore that game design more, but and especially designing the game in a way that I also would enjoy most as well, because I know about my specific game needs, like games that are accessible, easy to learn, easy to understand, and also engaging, like giving me problems to solve, and giving me the satisfaction of solving any problem, and I think and things like that. Um, so I'm not sure if I'm going on wild tangents at the moment, but to help prevent this video from growing too large and getting onto bigger tangents, long story short, um, I I want to one part of me wants to abandon this project, because I may have discovered that the game I was trying to create may have already been created in a similar enough way, as in I mean, meaning giving a similar or better experience. And over time, as I was not working on this game, I kind of thought about better ways I might be able to execute on these ideas. Um, and also abandoning this project is also not a negative thing either. This like I am always continuously growing and learning, and this is not my first game that I made in this Unity game engine, but each game I made helped me to familiarize more with this engine's tools, and I end up learning how to make better and more advanced things. Like for example, um, like this animation of that dice flying around, and this animation of like going here and doing that. I was recently trying a new animation tool that I had not used before in the Unity game engine, and that was a much faster way for me to build simple animations than how I made simple animations before, and this new approach as well did not require any coding, so that made my project much more maintainable, and for anyone interested, I was just using the this Unity engine animator like module thing, and I borrowed like this knowledge from a Brackeys YouTube video, where he was describing how to build animations with this module to do like loading screen transitions, but instead I chose to repurpose that knowledge to create animations for like just simple moving objects on one screen. So yeah, so to circle back to this video's question, I'm still learning how to use the Unity game engine more easily, and I'm learning ways to do bigger and better things with these tools, and I also discover ways to build games more efficiently, like saving my time and effort, and the creative process of going through game development can be very very enjoyable for me. But oftentimes I am very okay with acknowledging that I have made a really terrible game, but I've or in this case I've made I've made a very incomplete and not fun game yet, but each time I do learn more about how to design more entertaining games. Thanks for watching.